Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate your patience here this morning as we got set and ready to go on a Friday morning. I just traveled in last night, later last night, and not too late, not as late as I have traveled in before, but came in late last night and happy to be home. Was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Was happy to be in Charlotte too. It's a catch-22 because I love being there, love being in the Queen City. And, I've spent so many years in North Carolina. And obviously, we work with the Brooklyn Pickle on 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. So, and on Superpowered Pop side, just outside of Charlotte and Cornelius, North Carolina, I work with PBKW as our studio partner of Superpowered Pop. And I went over and visited them. Parker Banner, Kent, and Wayne is what PBKW stands for. Parker, Spider-Man, Banner, Bruce Banner for the Hulk, Kent, Clark Kent, Superman, and Wayne, Bruce Wayne, Batman. And they're a fantastic place on 21500 Catawba Ave, Suite A in Cornelius, North Carolina. So obviously I've built connections there, dug some roots there with East Carolina and Wake Forest and NC State and Charlotte and UNC, Duke, and it's a wonderful place. I was there when the Hornets had their first game back, when they brought their franchise back. So, it's definitely a city I love to be at. And I think they've done an incredible job with their airport. So I want to shout them out for that. And it was just a lot of fun. I was there for ACC tip-off and had the opportunity to speak with every single school that was there. Miami was not there due to the hurricane. And God willing, the Miami Hurricanes will be well and stay well, and all of their loved ones as well. In Jesus' name, most precious. Amen. And, just being there, and I was there a few months ago for football at the Hilton Charlotte Uptown, and I really think it's a great venue. It's very easy to figure out. Once you know where you need to go, it's really, really easy to just go in and out of the rooms you need to be in and the things you need to do. And sitting there and talking with every coach that was there and speaking with student athletes, it was a great experience as always, and I just feel very grateful to God. So I wanted to start off the show by saying thank you to Charlotte and thank you to the opportunity from the ACC. Thank you to Jim Phillips. Thank you to Amy Acola and the entire team with the ACC, because they've been tremendous. Obviously, they moved their headquarters from Greensboro to Charlotte, so they're right in downtown Charlotte as well. I actually drove by their building last time I was down there for ACC kickoff for football, and I was trying to figure out how to get into the team store for Charlotte FC, and I kept driving around, and I came around the bend and I saw the building with like the ACC and like really awesome lettering, and I just thought it was really cool to see them down there, and very professional for sure. So I just want to thank them for their professionalism, for their kindness, for their generosity, for their belief in me many, many years ago, and for giving me a chance and an opportunity. So I want to say thank you for that, and I appreciate y'all so much. And Jim, you already know, we get to have conversations about God. You don't always hear that in the media. And Amy, same thing. We get to have really important conversations, and just good people. And when you're around good people, you go out of your way, and that's why going down to Charlotte to me is a true blessing. I look forward to it every single year, and I already miss the Queen City. There's restaurants that I can't go to up here, and because we don't have them. And yeah, there's just a lot of experiences in the Queen City. So I just want to say a big time shout out to Charlotte and to Cornelius for PBKW and to Southern Pines with Brooklyn Pickle and just all the teams that are down there that I've had the opportunity to be around. And I just send you all my love, and I miss you already. So with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, it's a Friday. So we're going to jump into our signature trio of segments, and then we have a very special conversation to share with you. So inside of MonPausPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', we're going to start things off with the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. And then we're going to jump into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver is what the acronym stands for, presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. Today's topic is decisions, and we'll get into that and what that means in just a little bit. Then we'll get into the top dog of the week, and I'll make that announcement on who it is, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And then we'll finish off the show at 10:21 a.m. Eastern Time. And people say, why would you do 10:21 a.m. Eastern Time? Such a unique time, Dan. And that's because it's my birthday, and I find it an honor to cover the Army Black Knights and to honor my grandpa, Tortora, my Pop Miller is what I call him. So to honor my Pop Miller, as well as my Uncle Bucky and my Uncle Vincent, who all served in World War II for the United States Army. So it is my honor, my privilege to have Jeff Monken back on the show for another one-on-one, just him and I, speaking on this season with the team's 5-0 start and more. So excited to share that with you to round out today's show. And of course, we appreciate you being here. So with that being said, let's jump into the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so.
And here for the annoying moment of the week. I just love doing the annoying moment of the week. I always do, and it's fun for me. It's definitely a lot of fun for me. So to be able to bring you the annoying moment of the week, we always have a good time here on Wake Up Call with it. And Carvel's our longest standing partner, and I value them tremendously. So very happy to be here with you and hanging out where sports meets life. Let's hop into the annoying moment of the week. Well, I mean, where can I go? So I think I've gone to some places before, like in the world of like construction and some of that stuff. But I'm going to say that my annoying moment of the week, and listen, I understand because I have allergies, and so sometimes, you get, and I don't maybe sleep as much as the average person. So with me not sleeping as much and, running around and having allergies and whatnot, I'm sure that I have moments where, you get a little tickle, or you want to clear your throat and this and that. My annoying moment of the week, though, is the people that get on the plane and that are in the airport in general that sound like they're sick. Now, these people might be going back to work, and they might be doing this, and might be doing that. But here's the thing, okay? I think about you. I think about the people that I'm around. I don't want you, if I'm, gosh forbid, sick, I don't want to get you sick. So when I'm out there and I'm doing my thing, I am trying to be cognizant of other people and cognizant of how I feel. When I was sick during COVID, and I had gotten COVID, they think. So I think it was, but so I had gotten COVID, right? And I was supposed to travel. So I tested and I tested and I tested and I tested, and eventually, right before I was supposed to leave, I tested negative. So I said, okay, I can leave. But I was also super run down. And to me, I was like, okay, can I do this? I want to do this. Like, I'm going to do this, but I have to be, I got to be all right to move around, because I gotta go to a big city, and I'm going to be walking a lot, and I'm going to be doing a lot of work. So I have to be prepared for something like this. And one of the days, I was just like sweating, even though I had already tested negative. I was sweating and I was run down. And so I went home. I went back to the hotel, I should say. And I relaxed. And, I stayed away from everybody. My annoying moment of the week is not that people, cough, because that happens, and sneeze, because that happens. It's that they don't cover it. And it's that there's a difference between and and then you're like, why are you on a plane? And I'm sure in some extenuating circumstances, maybe you're going to a funeral, right? And you're like, I can't miss this thing. But put a mask on. Put a mask on. Cover your face. We're out here doing our thing and living our lives. And really what I'm getting down to in the nitty-gritty of the annoying moment of the week is people need to think about other people. People need to be respectful of other people. Because you might be just doing your thing and wiping your schnoz on your arm and then putting it on the seat and this and that. But someone has to sit in that seat. And you just have to, not have to, but I hope you would care. And when I was traveling on the plane, down and back, you hear some people and you're like, put a mask on. Just put a mask on. Think about the fact that, you can't, you're sitting there, you might be going, well, I can't afford to be sick, Dan. Okay, well, I don't think any of us want to be sick. I don't think any of us want to be in that area. So, that's an annoying moment of the week for me. Another annoying moment of the week has to do with travel. I'll get into it in a second. Greg said, happy Friday, let's go Mets. Shout out to Greg, shout out to Isaac, shout out to Brendan. I know y'all are celebrating, and congratulations. Last year, my Diamondbacks beat the Phillies. This year, my Mets beat the Phillies. So my question to Jerry is, what's going on with the Phillies? Greg said, Charlotte Knights ballpark is beautiful. Can't beat that Charlotte City skyline. But no, you can't, man. And I shared pictures of that skyline backdrop. And I love that upside down triangle looking building. I always love that building. When they light it up for like the Hornets and this and that, so cool. Jerry said, go Army, beat Navy. So exciting. And Jerry said, happy birthday. Yeah, man, it's coming up, 10 days. Greg said, everyone should experience an Army home football game. Great atmosphere in the Hudson River Valley. I've heard nothing but good things, and I intend to, by the grace of God, to go to a game. They're actually playing 3 straight home games for their next few games here. Jerry said, our Legion post goes up to West Point every year. It's extraordinary. That's awesome. Chuck said, is today your birthday? No, it's October 21st. But I said I'm celebrating my conversation with Coach this morning. Pardon the celebrating my conversation with Coach this morning at 10:21 a.m. Eastern time, because 10:21 is my birthday. So, yeah. So, my second annoying moment of the week, and thank you for all your comments. My second annoying moment of the week, I was down in downtown Charlotte yesterday, and I only had a few minutes to get in to the press conference because we started early, and Syracuse is up first. And so I'm trying to get over to the press conference, and I got to this light, and I literally have to turn on the street that like it's like the hotel's supposed to be right there when I turn. And I get to this light and you could see that there's these light up, no turn things that they shut off when you can and they turn on when you can't. And so it said you can't turn left and you can't turn right. But I was on a road where you could turn left and you could turn right. And my GPS was telling me to turn right. And there was a cop car parked in front of me and I couldn't tell if there was somebody in it. And there was a cop car on the road coming toward me and I couldn't tell if there was somebody in it. I don't think there was anybody in that one, but I couldn't tell with the other one. So I'm sitting here saying to myself, I got a few minutes to get there. I got to find a place to park in the garage when I get there. Do I turn right knowing that it's supposed to be just like a minute or so away, even though it says I can't turn right, but it looks like I can turn right and there's no construction and there's nothing obstructing my ability to turn right. So do I follow this sign and not turn right and potentially make myself late, or do I turn right and risk getting pulled over by the cops? So I guess my question is to Charlotte, I was just trying to understand your roads. So like, I was trying to understand because I saw the digital thing and I saw that it said like it had the like the white arrow that goes up and over, and then it had the no smoking sign, and then an up and right, and I had the no smoking sign. I'm like, okay, I think I can't turn right, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I'm going to count that as an annoying moment of the week because I didn't know what to do. But I was the annoying moment because I left the hotel late. And so I put myself in that position to be potentially late because I ended up scooting right in there right as they were starting Syracuse. But my plan was to get there earlier than that. So that was on me. Chuck said, 10 days from now, I was going to say we share a birthday today. Happy early birthday. So it's your birthday today, Chuck? Well, happy birthday, Chuck. So I think everyone that is watching and listening should sing to you in the comfort of their own home, at work, in the car. I think Jerry and Greg and the crew should all sing you happy birthday in their own special way. You can't hear it, but I think that they should do it, and that those positive vibes will come your way, man. Happy birthday. If today is your birthday, Chuck, which it looks like it is because you said we share a birthday if it was today. So happy birthday, man. Very much so. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have I hope you have the best birthday you've ever had your entire life. I hope all good things happen. And I hope the year coming up is the best year that you've ever had. And it just barely scratches the surface for what your future holds. So God bless to you always, Chuck. And to everybody who's rocking out with their birthday today, October 11th. So I know someone whose birthday is October 12th. I know somebody whose birthday is October 13th. And I know someone whose birthday is October 24th. Is it 24? Wait, hold on. I think it's October. Yeah. October 24th, Nick DePillo. You heard that earlier this week. Him and I are 3 days apart. So, happy birthday to all my October babies. Let's freaking go. So, I love it. It's Libra season. Same thing for my guy, Croomy Crooms. Eric Kroom from Syracuse football history and NFL history. Had some time with the Panthers and the Jaguars. So, Jerry said happy birthday to Chuck. Greg said happy birthday to Chuck. Chuck, what are you doing today for your birthday? Can you share that with us? Is it PG? If it's not, send it. I want to hear it. So we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. And we'll be back right after this. Roads and people sneezing and coughing without covering their face. Cover your face, okay? We'll be back right after this. That's been the annoying moment of the week. Probably presented by Carvel DeWitt. 4322 East Genesee Street, DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like. And it is the home of my signature sundae. It's the only place in the world where you can get my sundae. Longest standing Carvel in America has my sundae. It is called the DT Dolphin. It is in connection to the Lemoyne Dolphins that are literally right down the street from Carvel DeWitt. It might take you 6 or 7 minutes to get there from campus. Head over there. And what college or university has their own sundae at a Carvel down the street? Like, come on now. So it's awesome. It's fun. Dolphins swim over. And everybody swim over. Try the DT Dolphin. Mint chocolate chip. It's green. obviously for the dolphin color, mint chocolate chip, hot fudge, whipped cream and a cherry, green and gold sprinkles, and a chocolate dolphin jumping out of your whipped cream. Go and get the DT Dolphin today, exclusively at 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York, in that little plaza with Carvel DeWitt. We'll be back right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're gonna be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever gonna have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, and we appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It is time to get into LEAD, our acronym that stands for Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. It's proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero, who always delivers, 7916 Brewerton Rd, with just great food and great service and fantastic people behind all of it. 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. Today's topic for LEAD, decisions. What decisions do you have to make in your life today? You don't have to tell me. I mean, you can tell me, but you don't have to. What decisions are on your mind today? And because we all have to make them, right? We all have to make decisions. And they're not always easy. Rarely are decisions easy. And when we're making these decisions, it becomes ever important to do something. It was a word I used to run away from, and now I run toward it. It's a word called discernment. Discernment. You know, and I ran away from the word, full disclosure, because it was used by a woman that was constantly going back and forth on our relationship. And so that's why, to me, when I heard the word discernment, it was like, oh, okay, here we go again. Here comes bad news again. Here comes, whatever the drama and whatnot. Even the drama, but just like, here comes the back and forth again. So I used the word discernment in a negative way, or I thought of it in a negative way because of the person that was using it. But discernment is not a bad thing. Discernment is actually imperative, I think, for having a peaceful life and for really trying to make decisions looking at it all. So It's you're in the Christian world, it is to obtain spiritual guidance and understanding. The ability to judge well. So it's the quality, I'm going to look at the Merriam-Webster dictionary. The quality of being able to comprehend what is obscure, skill and discern, an act of perceiving. The quality of being able to comprehend what is obscure. So you're discerning something, right? Because we all have discernment. We all have to think through things. Now, do we always do it? No. But we have the opportunity to do it. And when it comes to making decisions, what do you kind of put in? Do you have a model that you use that's professional and personal, right? When you were deciding, like, do I like this person? Do I want to go on a date with this person? How did you discern that? How did you make that decision? Were there qualities about that person? Did you just look at the person and go, wow, that's a really beautiful looking human being, and that was it? Or did you sit back and say, like, we have our faith in common. They seem to care about these things that matter to me. They listen to me. If I'm having a bad day and, you know, I make mistakes, or maybe if I'm not myself that day, they still rock with me. You know, they're consistent with me. They talk to me. When I have an off moment, you know, when I maybe don't sound like myself or I'm not as confident, are they still there? Like, do they automatically go like, okay, everything we built up to this point doesn't matter because right now, you know, you look different or you sound different? Because the thing is, nobody's perfect. And when we're trying to make decisions on life, like I had to make a decision. The storm didn't look like it was going to hit North Carolina, thank God. And I didn't want it to hit anywhere. And I pray that everybody's okay this morning in Jesus' most blessed name. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. You know, I look at these situations, and, you know, in the case of Charlotte, I had a decision to make. Do I go down to Charlotte? Do I fly south when I'm up here up north and, you know, the storm is down south? And to me, I was like, you know, I love doing the ACC. They didn't stop anything. They didn't make any announcements that they weren't going to be doing it. And I reached out to the ACC and was like, hey, like, what's going on? They're like, oh, you know, everything is as planned. So to me, I was like, I'm going to go. But I also made a decision when I got there, because I was supposed to be there this morning. I was supposed to still be there this morning. But I made a decision to come back early just for peace of mind, right? If this storm goes out into the water and it does this or that, you know, I just want this storm to go and dissipate and become a nothing. The thought to me was, well, what if Charlotte gets rain? What if Charlotte gets something, right? I'm driving in a rental car. You know, I know my area, like things are familiar to me in Charlotte, but I was like, I'm driving in a rental car. I got to fly out of there. And then I thought to myself, what if people get diverted? What if they change people's flights? What if people are traveling, trying to get home and this and that, and they move them to Charlotte? So there's a lot of things that can happen where Charlotte could be totally sunny weather and nothing at all going on weather-wise, but there could be diversions. There could be people that are moved to different flights. There could be flights that get canceled. There could be planes that didn't get into Charlotte. So to me, it was like, if you know you can get out a little bit early and you're not keeping yourself from doing any work, which I didn't, I finished off everything I had to do, and I said to myself, I can go home right now. So I went home. That was a decision. That was a decision of, yes, I would love to stay in Charlotte a little bit longer. Yes, I would love to explore Charlotte a little bit longer. No, I never liked to leave Charlotte. But the question became, you know that things can happen. You know that there's a storm going on. And you know that you could potentially be in a position where you get stuck there. And you have to get home. You want to see your dog. You got things you got to do. And you have other places you have to be because this is a big travel year or travel month for me. So with all of that being said, I made a decision. Now, I am not always good at making a decision quickly. You know, I'll talk through it, but I'm surrounded by really good people. And those really good people, they always tell me, no matter what advice they give me, they always tell me, this is your decision to make. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And so no matter what they say, they leave it up to me. And I appreciate that. I really do. Because one, it means they trust me. And two, it means they want me to learn. They want me to grow. They want me to evolve. They want me to ad-lib. They want me to deliver on the promise that I'm making. They want me to deliver on what I'm planning on doing. So I made the decision to go. And I'm happy that I went. I'm happy that I'm home safe. And I thank God for that. And I thank God for waking me up and all of you up today. And when I'm discerning, when I'm making decisions in my life, I have to ask myself, like, if I took this out of my life, no matter how new it is or how long it's been around, if I take it out of my life, is that good or bad? You know, what would be my loss if I took it out? And that's anything. That's people, that's things, that's places. If I took it out, you know what I mean? Is that good or bad? Because I have these friendships, right? And so you ask yourself, well, in this specific friendship, is this good for me? Is it fruitful for me? Is it positive to me? Or is it taking more from me than it's giving? And if I take it out, yeah, it'll be hard. But if I take it out, what am I losing? And then you take it out and you go, well, I did this and 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 I did this. And they didn't really do any of those things. So I was in a friendship where I was giving, but I wasn't getting much. I was getting whatever they wanted to give at that certain time, at that moment, because they felt like it. Where I was going out of my way to give. And when you take a step back in life and you look at things, and I gain perspective a lot when I'm kind of away. And when I'm on a plane, figuratively and I think I've probably said it on the show before, but figuratively and literally, when I'm above it all, I can see it all. Like when I get up in an airplane and you're physically above the earth, or like physically above land, I should say, because we're not out of the Earth's atmosphere, but physically above land. When you're on a plane and you're looking down and you can see the big picture, I also mentally and emotionally can see the big picture. So I get on planes and it kind of like pulls me out of it and it goes, okay, like, is this something you want to pursue? Is this a partnership you want to have? Is this a person you want to date? Is this a friend you want to be friends with? Is this a thing that you want to do? And why are you doing these things? For whatever reason, when I take that time away, it lets me think. You know, when I get my rest, it lets me have clarity. It lets me think. So I appreciate those moments. And I value those moments. Because they allow me to see, what I might have trouble seeing. And it gives me time away. And, anybody that knows me knows how I work. And that I work throughout the day. And then my mind is always going. So when I'm winding down, the people that know me know, like, I might overthink something. If I haven't been sleeping and I've been running around and I've been doing this and that, I might overthink something. I might, just kind of be like speaking out loud type of thing. And I guess it's part of my process, is that, like, I start to kind of just look at everything. And I look at the decisions that I make in my life. And I ask myself, like, do you want to do that? Like, when you think about this person, when you think about this thing, when you think about this place, how do you react? Do you react like you get sick to your stomach? Do you react like you get excited? Do you react like you don't really know? Because, our gut's not going to lie to us. And when I listen to my gut, things pretty much end up okay. When I don't listen to my gut, well, that's not great. And for me, I'm always making decisions that are with a pure heart and good intention. And sometimes honesty scares people. Sometimes being open scares people. Sometimes being very clear and transparent. I've been taken advantage of a lot in my life because I tell you how I feel. I wear my heart on my sleeve with the people that I care about. I try to help people. I'm very open and honest. I will answer. I don't cheat. I don't lie. I don't steal. I stole a pack of cards when I was 10 years old, and I still think about that to this moment. Like, who was that? Like, why would I do that? Because that's not who I am. And, when I look back at my life, I can say that I've been very honest with people, and I've been very open. And when I'm making a decision, I don't make it in a silo. I'll talk to you and I'll figure things out with you. I try to treat people the way that I want to be treated, but I find that it's very rare in this world for you to have a misstep. Because in today's world, everybody is waiting for you to screw up, and they're waiting to tell you that you did. And, I feel like with me, if you get to know the type of person that I am and what I stand for, then, if I have a moment where I'm just kind of speaking out loud and I'm sharing things, or, I mispronounce something. As a broadcaster, you can't mispronounce anything ever. But, in these moments where, you're so open with people, it's just how I've always been. Because I don't like to play games, and I don't like to keep people in some type of shrouded nothing. I like to be very clear. And I don't like to waste time. And I feel like my time has been wasted in a lot of different areas. And I just think that for me, it's important that when you're making decisions, you make decisions to be around knowing that you're never going to get this time back again. Like, I'm only going to be 38 on October 11th, 2024 one time. And it's important to make decisions about the people, the places, the things that you involve yourself with, and the energy you put yourself into, because your decisions affect things. They affect you, they affect your time, they affect your energy, they affect what tomorrow might bring, what down the road might bring if you make a commitment to something. And, you know, I mean, I hope that people just have this like child whimsy, right? That when you're making decisions and you're going out there and you're doing things, you don't forget to have fun. And you don't forget to live life to the fullest. And you don't forget to just enjoy the moments that you have in your life. Because there's so many good moments in life. And there's so many good things. And there's so many good people. And I know it's hard in today's world to sometimes see just how great people are. But there are so many good people in this world. And they, you know, not in an ego way, but they probably would like to hear that. They probably would like to hear that you appreciate them, that you find them to be good. Because a lot of people that are out there trying to do good things, they don't always feel like people see them. Sometimes they feel like people treat them like they're doing a bad thing when they're trying to do a good thing. You know? And I think it's important to tell the people that are out there doing good things in this world, thank you. And decisions are never easy, right? But I'm not a person that lives in regret. So I'm going to give all I can, what I have to give, where I want to give it. And if that person on the other side, if they don't give it back, well, you know, then that business doesn't work with me. If that woman doesn't give it back, well, then she doesn't date me. If that friend doesn't give it back, well, then maybe we're acquaintances now. But the only thing that you can control in your life are your actions and your thoughts and your views on things. And who, like what you say and what you do, that's all you. And nothing else is. You can be the best of the best and they still don't hire you. You could be the best of the best and you don't make the team. Michael Jordan got kicked off his high school team, for goodness sakes. You could be the best of the best and you could get cheated on and you could get lied to and you could get stolen from. You could be the most honest person and some of the most dishonest people could be like magnets to you. And I don't know if that's God's teaching or if that's the devil trying to mess around. But what I do know is they're all learning lessons. And lessons become blessings. And sometimes when you're making a decision, it's as simple as closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and saying to yourself, God, I trust you. God, I love you. Show me the way. We'll take a step aside for a fast break, and when we come back, I will announce my top dog of the week right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Brian's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees, and as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When we first started the business in 2007, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There's a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allow customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality, and I think on both of those fronts, Servomation has really in large part changed that value system for employees, so they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machine, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean to cup coffee machine. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I can tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. It's time for our top dog of the week. Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by the wonderful people at K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. When it comes to taking care of your furry loving friend, there's only one place that I'll tell you to go. Well, two places, but the same business. K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. The daycare is available to you on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. It is they're right by the high, literally right when you get off the high. You could see it going onto the highway and right off Erie Boulevard across from BJ's. K9 Camp Dog Daycare, there for you for short-term care for your dogs. And you can call them at 315-437-7110 to talk to them about your dog and get everything set up. That's 315-437-7110. You can get more information by going to k-9kamp.com. And then you can also go to dog boarding for longer term care for your dog, where every dog gets a cabin, their own special place, their bed and their food and their water all by itself. They can go and play with other dogs. They can play with different toys and go inside, outside, and at the same time they have their own personal space. So that is a K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. It's down the road from the daycare, and it's 315-299-4013 to call them. 315-299-4013 if you need a place to bring your dog for a few days. You can get more information by going to kampground.com. That's kampground.com. So make sure that you do that today. My top dogs of the week this week, man, it's got to be, and Jerry, I'm sorry, don't get mad at me. It's got to be the New York Mets. I mean, this team was left for dead. You know, Mets fans not thinking they were going to make the postseason. And they found a way to surge. Think about what they did. They dropped 2 of 3 to the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. And after doing that, after dropping 2 of 3 to Milwaukee in Milwaukee, they had to go to Atlanta for makeup games and play a doubleheader. The season was supposed to end on Sunday and ended on Monday because they had to play a doubleheader. And they play that doubleheader, and they have to win at least one game to get in. And they win the first game, so they lock themselves into the postseason. They get in. But then they lose the second game, so they become the 6th seed, which means they have to go back to Milwaukee. So they go back to Milwaukee, who they had just played a few days before, not a week before, not 2 weeks before, not 10 months before, literally a few days. And you got another 3-game series when you just lost a 3-game series to them. That can get in your mind. They didn't let it. They won the first game. They lost the second down the stretch. And they won the third. And the Mets flipped the script on the Brewers after losing their regular season series 1-2. They won the playoff series against Milwaukee in the same place at Milwaukee 2-1. And after beating Milwaukee, then they got to go on and play the Philadelphia Phillies, a thorn in their side in the NL East, a team they never caught this season, no matter when the Phillies had moments of strife and adversity. The Mets never caught them. So now the Mets have an opportunity to catch them in a 5-game series in the NLDS, and they do it. And now the Mets are 1 step away from playing in the World Series. The Mets are 1 series away from making it to the Promised Land. And on the other side, the Yankees have moved on. And the Yankees are 1 step away from playing in the World Series. The Yankees are 1 step away from that Promised Land. Which means that we are 1 step away in the NL and 1 step away in the AL from having a Subway Series be the World Series, which is what I want. As a fan, just strictly saying, what would I want to see with no offense to any other teams? Mets and Yankees playing each other in the World Series? Heck yeah. Jerry said, I have to give kudos to the Mutts, is what he's calling the Mets. They outplayed the Phillies, who were putrid. I am hoping for a Subway Series with the Yanks winning in 7. So, we're looking forward to a Subway Series. The opportunity of seeing the Bronx play Queens for the rights to say, we're the best borough this time around. So, I'm excited for it. God bless you, Lily. She's here in the studio. God bless my little girl. So I got to give it up to the Mets. The New York Metropolitans as my top dogs of this week. Because the run that they had and are having continues to be special, impressive, exciting, and they're not done. Now, the Guardians beat the Tigers, so that series is tied 2-2 heading back to Cleveland. So today, on Friday, October 11th, the Padres, also in a tied series with the Dodgers, we're going to find out who's playing the Mets today. Now, I picked the Padres in my prediction before the playoffs began. I picked the Padres. So we'll see. They're going to be in LA. And as of right now, with that series tied 2-2, it's anybody's game. San Diego, LA, tonight, 8:08 p.m. on Fox. 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. And then Saturday, October 12th at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time on TBS, as well as HBO Max for those of you that stream. Detroit at Cleveland will be the all-deciding Game 5. So we'll find out who's playing the Yankees, the Guardians or the Tigers, and we'll find out who's playing the Mets, the Padres, or the Dodgers very soon. We'll find out the Mets competition tonight. We'll find out the Yankees competition on Saturday, October 12th. And shout out to both the Mets and the Yankees for moving forward. And like I said, getting closer to the Subway Series, honoring them as the top dogs of the week. Because I put the Yankees in there too. It's just that the Yankees were more predicted to be there, where the Mets have been this just truly, that this has been the story that maybe people didn't anticipate. So shout out to y'all. God bless. And may the best teams win tonight and tomorrow and so on. And may we just have some great series coming up. With that being said, we're going to take a quick step aside. My special with Jeff Monken is coming up right after this. This has been your Top Dog of the Week announcement. Celebrating the New York Metropolitans and the New York Yankees as the boroughs get closer to playing each other in the World Series. But there's another series to play. K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, bringing you the Top Dog of the Week every Friday. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back with my conversation with Jeff Monken right after this.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome here to a very special broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, here where sports meets life. It is my honor and my privilege to welcome with me at picture-in-picture Jeff Monken, the head coach of the Army and Black Knights football program. Coach, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the opportunity to be on with you.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, I know that there's plenty of season to be had, but congratulations on the start, the 5-0 record for the team. And I'd love to just, from your perspective, see how you believe the team got to this place to be able to withstand whatever was thrown at them in these first few weeks.
We got really good leadership on our team from within. I think our captains are doing a really good job. The veteran players, our seniors, are doing a tremendous job leading our team. And you know, they've driven the standards every day from January until now. They practice hard, they train hard. They do all of the little things that we as coaches know are important and want them to do to maximize their potential. So it's very much a player-led team, and I think that's made all the difference in the world for us.
And when you speak on that player-led team, it would be hard pressed, I think, for anybody on this specific team with a military academy such as the United States Army to say who is one leader. So I don't think you could pick just one, but is there someone in the leadership world of this team that you believe has maybe surprised you in how they've stepped up and in what they've done in these first few weeks?
I can't say enough for our 4 team captains. They're all different personalities and lead in their own way, but they all do a really good job with our entire football team, not just the offense or defensive units that they're attached to. But I can't say enough for what I think Cody Winokur has meant to our team. And you know, Cody's a guy that was here, entered the Army mentorship program, which meant he became an enlisted soldier. So his opportunity to go out there and serve alongside the 10th Mountain Division soldiers, just a tremendous opportunity for him, and the growth and the maturity that comes with that. He returned with an entirely different perspective and earned the respect of his teammates and was voted captain this year. And he probably plays less than the other captains, but has as much or more of an impact on our football team and our locker room as any of those guys. And Kyle Lewis is doing a great job. And Max DiDomenico and Bryson Daly, all of our team captains doing just a remarkable job with our football team. All have a voice.
Yeah.
Um, all are willing to lead and be in front of the team and say what needs to be said and hold others accountable, but they hold themselves to such a high standard and they're really a great example for everybody in our program.
You mentioned Bryson, and I know that there's a lot of accolades that have come with this season for him from his role on this squad and what he's been asked to do and the success that he's had. How do you see how he's handled the national recognition and just what you've taken away from the type of human being that he was going into the season and what he's done up to this point, and the fact that there is some exposure to the work that he's put in?
He's a coach's kid, so he's very grounded, understands the game, understand what it takes to have a winning team. And I, frankly, I'm not sure he really even notices all the stuff that's going on in the periphery. Uh, when there is success, then there's going to be headlines and people talking about those things, but it has no bearing on how we play this weekend. It doesn't help us have a better practice this afternoon. He knows that. And he knows it's his job to be prepared, to be our quarterback, to lead the team, to make the right decisions, to be a competitor. And he does all those things. He does a great job.
For you, Coach, here with Jeff Monken of Army football, starting off the season 5-0, being inside of the American Athletic Conference. When you and I first spoke, we were talking about the fact that you were going into new territory, right? Somewhere you've never been when it comes to the American Athletic Conference and being a member of this conference. We start off the season non-conference against Lehigh with a victory, and then FAU inside a conference, a victory there, a victory against Rice in conference, a victory against Temple in conference, a victory against Tulsa in conference. What have you taken away up to this point of the American, having played within the conference and having the experiences that you've had up to this point? Just what you can say about the caliber of the teams that you've gone up against and maybe how you would define the American up to this point.
It's a very talented league, a lot of really good football players, and we've seen that the last 4 weeks, and we're very much anticipating seeing a very talented team this weekend in UAB. Well coached, teams are well prepared. Obviously, we've had some success, but it's a fight every week, and it's a great league, and we're really excited to be a part of it and feel honored to be a part of the American Athletic Conference. So we're just doing our very best to represent our academy in this league and try to be competitive.
When you look at the academies and you look at Navy, also 5-0 with you, I know that Army-Navy game is a massive game, and it's a very serious game, a very passionate game. Do you look across the table at Brian Newberry and appreciate the fact that the military academies within the American are both at the top right now?
No, I appreciate the fact that our guys are playing competitive football, and frankly, for anybody else, I don't pay much attention. So, but our guys are doing a good job, and our staff's doing a good job, and excited for the success we've had. But that's behind us, and what we got to do is fight like crazy to try to win this next one and continue the success.
Is there a moment in the locker room for you, Coach, this season up to this point that has really just stuck out to you, either from something that one of the guys said themselves, one of the captains came forward with, or a moment that you had where you were speaking with the team? Is there something that kind of lingers with you that has been one of those special moments that you hold on to up to this point?
I don't know if I would call out one. I think probably maybe the after the first ball game, Cody Winokur, who I mentioned again now, he stood up in front of the team and just said, "Look, each week this is what we've got to strive for, is to be in this locker room and celebrating a victory, and how we got here to this victory. We've got to remember the things that we do each week and the preparation that we put in to get to this result. So, let's not pat ourselves on the back. Let's get back to work tomorrow and get ready for the next one. And I think that just, that's the spirit in our locker room. Our guys aren't afraid to celebrate and enjoy a victory, enjoy a play, and that they make, but they realize that it's important that we get back to work and get refocused. So I think that's very healthy for it. Excuse me, very healthy for a team.
And defensively, when you look at the team this season, you've been able to shut out other teams in quarters, take an entire quarter away from a team. Just when we go to the defensive side of the ball, especially most recently what you were able to do in the game against Tulsa, just what that piece, that element of the team has really shown you to minimize the opportunities, which I know that, Army is all about minimizing those chances, and then making sure that you're shutting down complete quarters in games. Just what you can say about the defense.
Well, the defense is doing a really good job, and it's been very much a kind of a bend don't break. There's been times where we've bent and we've allowed teams to drive the field on us, but we've done a great job of keeping them out of the end zone for the most part. With Tulsa, their drive for a touchdown early in the game against us was very much like the drives we like to put together. It was 15 plays. It was 75 yards or something like that, and took up several minutes off the clock. That's kind of how we like to play. And that ability for us to be able to do that on a fairly consistent basis keeps other teams from having opportunities to put their offense on the field, all their athletes. And so, there's been times where our defense has bent a little bit and allowed teams to move the football, but what they've done is come up with plays, whether it's a turnover or a fourth down stop, to get the other team off the field. So Nate Woody, our defensive coordinator, does a great job, and our players have, just been playing really tough, physical, active football on defense.
We speak on offense and defense, but one of the places that gets such little love nationally is special teams, and the importance and everything that they do to decide where your defense is going to have to defend from to where your offense is going to start. When you look at your kicking game and you look at the punting game as well as, the snapping side of things too, because we've seen a lot of snafus that happen when that's not where it needs to be. Special teams overall put together through these first 5 games and a 5-0 start, how would you assess your special teams?
The specialists have done a really good job. Snappers, kickers, holders, punters, I think, are doing a really good job. We've protected our kickers, protected our punter, protected our PAT field goal kicker. Yeah. Those are all positives. And certainly when the field goal PAT team goes out there, there's points at stake every single time. So those are big plays. We haven't covered kicks this year as well as I would like. And in years past, we've done a really good job of covering kicks, and we've allowed some kickoffs to pop out of there on us. We haven't given up a touchdown, but we've had some longer returns than we'd like. And we had a punt play early in the year. We missed, I think, 4 tackles on the same punt play, and they had a decent return. And those are hidden yards that make a difference in football games. And so we have worked really, really hard the last few weeks to try to correct that. We saw those flaws early, have worked hard in drill work and in practice to get those right, and still a work in progress. But on the punt block, punt return team, we've tried to put some pressure on some teams. Haven't had a lot of opportunities to return. We've unfortunately put some balls on the ground catching punts. So, there's some areas of special teams we got to play better. And it's an area that we really take pride in, an area that we have excelled in years past. And we've got to again make special teams an area where it really contributes to the overall success of the team. And Fortunately, we haven't had really any plays against us that have been costly in the kicking game, but we haven't created a lot of big ones kicking the ball. We've had a couple successful fakes, and those have made a difference in football games for us. And so, again, a work in progress, kind of like our whole team.
Yeah, and you and I going into the season spoke on the offense and what people think it is, but maybe some wrinkles and different pieces that you wanted to bring into it and develop and kind of accentuate the offense. In this 5-0 start, it would be easy from the outside looking in saying, well, they're undefeated, so, all is well. Are you in a place where some of those things that we talked about or you alluded to in our conversation going into the season have they been put into the offense scheme the way that you wanted them to be? Do you feel like this offense is evolving into what you anticipated?
Cody Worley's doing a great job calling the offense and preparing our staff and players. And I can't say enough about the job he's done. Really pleased with how well he's coordinated it and has it organized and simplified for our players and staff. Certainly we've had some really good drives and we've made some big plays, but there's areas for improvement, and we've got to continue to improve on a weekly basis. As other teams play, their guys are playing more snaps and they're getting better, and we're going to have to do the same. And there's still times where we don't sustain blocks long enough. We miss assignments. We haven't been always as efficient in getting the yards that are kind of out there on that play. We get a ball in the perimeter and we don't get positioned leverage wise on a defender where we need to, and there's probably a lot more potential in that ball that gets on the perimeter, or there's times inside where we let a block kind of fall off and a guy makes an ankle tackle where that might have been a bigger play through the middle. There are all those things that we've got to do from a fundamental standpoint and an assignment standpoint that we have better control over, that we've got to improve on. There's been times in the passing game we've made some big plays, but we've left some out there in the passing game, and there are going to be games this year that are going to be really tightly contested, more so than the ones we've played, that we're going to have to make those plays. We can't leave those plays out there on the field. So constantly just trying to improve and perfect what we're doing. But our guys are working really hard. We spend an inordinate amount of time on the fundamentals, on ball security, and so being a good blocking team, being a team that takes care of the ball is really what we're striving to do. And we feel like if we can do that, then we can kind of methodically move the ball down the field and turn the chains, and that's the brand of football we want to play.
Final note from you, Coach. You have the opportunity to be at home for the next three. You mentioned UAB, then East Carolina, and Air Force, all going to come to West Point. Just what you can say about this upcoming matchup against the Blazers, what you've seen from them, and the fact that you get to be in front of your fans in your familiar place for the next few weeks.
UAB may be as athletic of a team as we've seen. Their quarterback, the Zeno kid, is dynamite. He didn't play in the last game. I don't know if he's going to play this Saturday. Certainly, he's a huge piece to their offense, and just really, really good throwing the football. They have been a good running football team, and you look at what they did at Arkansas. I mean, they were going blow for blow with those guys, and here's Arkansas just beat Tennessee on Saturday night on national TV. So they're a perfectly capable team. They might be the most athletic defense we've faced, and with a team like UAB that is that athletic. I've been in their shoes and not having had the start to a season that we hoped, and a team like that is desperate, and they're going to play really, really hard. And they got a competitive coach who does a really good job. He's a championship coach. And so I know it's going to be a great challenge for us, but hopefully our guys will be up for it.
That coming from Jeff Monken here, the head coach of the Army Black Knights football program inside of the American for their first season as a member of the AAC. Coach, as always, I appreciate your time, and bigger than anything else, thank you for helping to lead the men that help to protect the freedoms so that you and I can go out to the grocery store, live our lives, do the things that we want to do. So more than anything else, please give my best to the guys and thank them for all the hard work that they do.
Well, I can assure you that our players and all their classmates, all the 4,400 cadets that are here that will be officers in the United States Army, are here because they have a spirit to serve this nation, and they proudly do it and humbly do it, and we're very grateful for them as well. So appreciate the opportunity. Beat Navy.
Take care. Have a good day.
Here is a message from Fire Pit Barbecue and Saloon, located on 264 New York Route 48 in Fulton, New York.
The aroma from the fire pit itself, you can smell it, and it just makes you want to come in and get the food. I feel like when you walk in the door, it's just very welcoming, from the employees to the atmosphere. We make it fresh every day, full of flavor, and you can get it plain and still has so much flavor, or you can choose from one of our many sauces, so you can get the same plate at the table, but each person can have a different flavor to it. When I first walked in, before the place was even open, I came in and talked to the manager, and she just made me feel like, just feels really comfortable, feels like a family. We work as a team, we work together. We do bands on the weekends, Friday, Saturday nights. We are doing trivia on Tuesday nights. Monday night, we're going to be doing some karaoke. So there's a lot of different things for kind of everybody. Once a month, Dan Tortora is going to be in here hosting his show with special guests from the sports community. Stop on down to Fire Pit Barbecue and Saloon. We are open 7 days a week, located at 264 New York Route 48 in Fulton. We also offer catering. Feel free to give us a call, 315-402-2004.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com.
Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com. canine.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Kampground.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. They are open for you Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. You can find all that you need in the sports card and collecting card world at GG Cards and Breaks. Find them right there on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, featuring every MLB, NFL, and NBA team. Every single franchise has their own box, so you can go through and find awesome cards from each of those teams. You can also find your way through the store to look at their graded cards, their singles. They have autograph cards, relic cards, RPAs, which stands for Rookie Patch Auto for those of you getting into the biz, and so much more. They even have one-of-ones at times, so you never know what you're going to find at GG Cards and Breaks. And from Yu-Gi-Oh! To Pokemon to Disney Lorcana to Magic the Gathering, and so much more. Hockey, basketball, baseball, football, soccer. There's always something for someone, for anyone. In my opinion, you walk in there, you're going to find something cool. Even if you've never collected cards before, and if you are a collector who's collected for years, you're still going to find great stuff at GG Cards and Breaks because they're constantly bringing in product. Some of it's nostalgic. Not everything is like right here in 2024. Sometimes they go back and get something from 2020, and you're like, oh man, I really wanted a rookie from that class. I'm going to open that box. So GG Cards and Breaks makes it like Christmas every day because you never know what you're going to open, and it's a lot of fun, and it's led by fantastic people, starting with Josh and Anthony. Head over there today. Let them know that DT sent you. 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank Coach Monken for being a part of the show today. And Jerry said Coach Monken's a class act. He deserves to be successful. Listen, Coach Monken, I've wanted to talk to him for a while. And now the fact that we've spoken multiple times means the world to me. I want to thank Eric and everybody over with Army for being a part of, for just giving me the opportunity to have this opportunity. And I just really do appreciate the fact that I've been able to speak with Coach Monken. And, I genuinely, I don't have words. He's one of those coaches that, you put on that bucket list and then you talk to him and you're like, I can't even believe that I get to do this for a living. So it's awesome. It's fun. I'm really excited for them. Both of the military academies are undefeated in the conference and undefeated
overall, they're both 5-0, and I'm super excited about it for the American Athletic Conference, for Army and for Navy. Army is 4-0 in the conference. Navy is 3-0 in the conference. And overall, they are 5-0 on the season. The Army Black Knights, taking a look at their schedule, they defeated Lehigh, then they won at FAU, they defeated Rice, won at Temple, and defeated Tulsa on the road. So looking at this, three games on the road, all wins, 2 games at home, all wins, and these are their victories: 42-7 over Lehigh, 24-7 over FAU, 37-14 over Rice, 42-14 over Temple, and 49-7 over Tulsa, which means that they have not allowed a team to score more than 2 touchdowns, more than 14 points in any of their victories. So we talk about Army and we talk about who they are and what they could be, and people discuss their offense. Defensively, which we discussed in this interview, they have only allowed a team to score 1 or 2 times the entire game. They allowed 1 score to Lehigh, 1 score to FAU, 2 to Rice, 2 to Temple, and 1 to Tulsa. And when you look at the overall, and I'm going to do this with no calculator because this is how you keep your mind strong, when you look at how many points they've allowed to how many points they've scored, when you put this together, you got 28 plus 21. So you got 49 points in 5 weeks that have been allowed by Army. Then you got 66 here. That's 103. That's 145. 145. So they've scored 194 points in 5 weeks. And they've allowed 49. They've scored 194 points and allowed 49. En route to being 5-0. And now they're at home at West Point for the next 3 games. They got UAB this Saturday at noon Eastern time on CBS Sports Network. Next Saturday at noon Eastern time on ESPN2, they have East Carolina. And then they have a break. And then on November 2nd at noon Eastern time, they have Air Force before they head back on the road. They still got a game on NBC against Notre Dame coming up. So that's exciting. And, looking forward to that. That game against Notre Dame is going to be on neutral grounds here. And so excited to see this. This game's going to be at Yankee Stadium on November 23rd. So looking forward to that matchup between Army and Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium, the home of the Pinstripe Bowl that I've been to. I got to think about this now. That I've been to 3 times because Syracuse has played in it 3 times. So, yeah, I mean, Army's had a tremendous start to their season. And on Navy's side of it, with them being 5-0 and 3-0 in the conference, Navy, this is how they run here. Bucknell at home, 49-21. Temple 38-11. Memphis 56-44 in a shootout against the team that the majority of the media that voted in the American Athletic preseason poll voted for Memphis to win the AAC, and Navy beat them in a shootout 56-44. And that was at home for Navy in Annapolis, Maryland. And then at UAB, they won 41-18, and at Air Force, they won 34-7 against another military academy. So, have they allowed more points than Army? Yes. But they win their first game by 28. They win their second game by 27. They win their third game by 12. They win their fourth game by 23. And they win their most recent game at Air Force by 27. So even though they've allowed more points, they've won every single game by double figures, including the shootout with Memphis 56-44. But I mean, you think about that. 28, that's 4 touchdowns against Bucknell. 27, that's 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals against Memphis. UAB, the 23 points, that's a bunch of field goals and a couple touchdowns there. So we look at that and say, okay, so if you got 14 off of 2 touchdowns and then 3 field goals to get that 23-point victory. And then, the game against Air Force, 27, you're looking at 4 touchdowns missing an extra point, right? Or what I said before, where you have 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. So, I mean, their margin of victory, despite the fact that they've allowed more points, Navy's margin of victory has been great. Yet neither one of these teams is ranked in the nation's top 25, which is disgusting, and it's wrong. And I'm against it 1,000,000%. I mean, Tulane's had a pretty good year in so far, and they're 4-2. They're 2-0 in the conference. Charlotte's 2-0 in the conference, 3-3 overall. There's only 4 undefeated teams in the conference. Everybody's played a conference game in the American. Everybody's played a conference game of the 14 football teams in the American Athletic Conference. Everyone's played a conference game, but only 4 teams are undefeated. Army, Navy, Tulane, Charlotte, and North Texas, who's only played 1 game. East Carolina's 1-1. Memphis, 0-1. FAU, 0-1. South Florida, 0-1. UTSA, 0-1. Tulsa, Rice, UAB, and Temple are 0-2 in the conference. So not only is Army coming into the conference for the first time ever and having success, they're one of 4 teams that are undefeated in the conference when the other 10 have at least 1 loss. That's saying something. And Navy? Navy had success under Ken Niumatalolo, and then they struggled toward the tail end of Ken Niumatalolo. The last few years of his time there at Navy, they struggled, and Brian Newberry was one of his coordinators, and then Brian Newberry steps up, and he's the head coach, and look what Brian Newberry is doing. I mean, Navy was not scoring a lot in those last few years with Ken Niumatalolo. They weren't scoring a ton. You look at the game against Memphis here with Brian Newberry, and they're scoring almost 60 points in a game. Like that's Big 12 scoring. So, I'm very, very much excited for what's to come with Army and Navy, and I'm looking forward to it. And I know that Army and Navy, and you saw that with Coach, they don't talk about each other outside of go Army beat Navy and go Navy beat Army. So, that thing is deeply rooted. I felt it when I asked the question to Jeff Monken. I was like, am I going to have to go run? But, both to look at the top of the American and have it be the military academies, that's really cool. And to be called the American and have the military academies at the top, to me, that's poetic. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. The annoying moment of the week presented by Carvel DeWitt. Thank you to Carvel DeWitt as always. Go and get my Sunday, the DT Dolphin, out at Carvel DeWitt on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. Chick-fil-A Cicero for bringing you lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. Today's topic, decisions. And you're going to see an all-new episode of The Light Between Us. I can't wait to share that with you, so make sure you look out for that this weekend. It's going to be on all of our social media and on our YouTube channel. Top Dog of the Week, honoring the New York Metropolitans on their incredible run so far that they're hoping just got started, and overall honoring the Mets and the Yankees as they're one step away from playing a Subway Series for the World Series, which I always think is just good for baseball no matter who you're a fan of. So shout out to K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. Big time thanks to Jeff Monken, Eric, and everybody over at Army West Point. Much appreciation for the opportunity, as always, to speak with the student athletes and to speak with Coach over with the Army football program. And thank you, as always, Jeff, for being so gracious with your time and being so kind and taking some time out of a very busy schedule to talk with me, as always. I can't express enough thanks for that. So God bless to you and to Army, and my best to you on the rest of the season. I want to thank you all for tuning into the show Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com, worldwide, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I also want to thank you all for downloading us, and when you get into your car and you got that CarPlay going on, you plug in the thing, or you just got the wireless, and once you're in your car, you turn on an app and you listen through your speakers in the car, just like you're listening to traditional radio. And because of Amazon Music and Audible and iHeartRadio and iTunes and Apple Podcasts and Player FM and Podbean and Podvine and Podchaser.com and Spotify and TuneIn and YouTube. We can get to you wherever you are. You can get to our library. It's always growing. It updates itself. If you subscribe, follow, whatever the word is on the specific app, once you do that, you're going to be connected with us forever. And when I put a new show up on like TuneIn, for example, TuneIn will alert you on your device and say like, hey, don't miss Wake Up Call, da-da-da-da-da. And whatever you listen to, if you stop during the show, when you reopen the app, it'll be like, do you want to keep listening to this episode of Wake Up Call? And then you can go and look at the episodes that have been uploaded. So I just want to say thank you to the wonderful, wonderful outlets that have been made available in this world. There are good things in technology, and I am a witness to so many of them. So I want to say thank you, and you can find us by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And of course, thanks to my incredible team of partners in Central and Upstate New York, go and visit Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Servomation, if you are a school, a college, university, if you oversee rest stops, if you're working on construction and you got to put some vending in places. When it comes to vending, nobody does it like Servomation. Find out what I mean by going to servomation.com. Mother's Cupboard, the home of my breakfast sandwich exclusively, 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., 3709 James Street in Syracuse. You will find the Cuse McMother, which is bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. Cut it up and have it with some syrup. Avicoli's, Great Lakes, Honda City, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Fire Pit Barbecue and Saloon, our newest partner on 264 New York State Route 48 in Fulton, New York, on the way to Oswego. GG Cards and Breaks, Pizza Man, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world. Chick-fil-A Cicero, if I didn't say them. Canine Campground, Dog Boarding, Brian's Landing. Their food is unlike anywhere else you're going to go in Central and Upstate New York, and that's why I love it. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call, just like it was Fins Up this past Wednesday. Every week we do the Dolphin Dive specials, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, and administration, as well as future Dolphins and alumni. This week we had my special with Nick DePillo, who added to his family, his 3rd child, God bless, his 2nd daughter, and he also has a son. So we spoke about being a dad to a newborn, as well as juggling all of that and having the baby in the off season and getting into the season. We broke down the entire 2024-25 schedule. We spoke on recruiting, his coaching staff, a lot of great things. So go back and watch that. You can find all my content with the Dolphins. First and foremost, you'll find them every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And secondly, you can hang out with your Lemoyne College Dolphins here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. You click subscribe, you hit the notification bell. You'll find the Lemoyne playlist. You'll also find the Dolphins by swimming over to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com and Fins Up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Go and find your Bobcats every single month on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and look for the BSC Syracuse playlist. All of our specials are entitled the Bobcat Buzz, and we let you know what's buzzing around that men's and women's soccer programs, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and esports. I want to thank Sean Peak, Nick Dmitrievsky, Alex Grigorita, Clay Gagan-Sherman, Tay Baker, as well as Connor Carroll, and everyone at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. 2 campuses, and one is right outside of this, well, right up the street from the city of Syracuse on James Street in Syracuse, New York. And you'll also find their other campus in Liverpool, right off of Route 57, across from Avicoli's. You will find all of our content with the Bobcats on our YouTube channel. Like I said, you'll also find them by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bearcats every Tuesday in what we call Bearcat Time, just like we had this past Tuesday when I had the opportunity to welcome Harrison Bletch to the broadcast of the Binghamton Bearcats men's golf program and tell his story. Moments with Marshall throughout the year features Gene Marshall, Binghamton University Athletics Director, and a behind-the-scenes look at the Bearcats. And the Bearcat Break Room offers you student-athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories of their journeys. And I appreciate everything we've gotten to do in just a short amount of time. And you can find all of our content with Binghamton University by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and clicking subscribe, hit that notification bell, and find the Binghamton playlist. You'll also find the Bearcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to bubearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, again, thanks to Carvel for the annoying moment of the week, Chick-fil-A Cicero for lead, top dog of the week honoring the Mets and the Yankees. Shout out to Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, the only place to bring your dogs, in my opinion, both in East Syracuse. And of course, many thanks to Jeff Monken and Army West Point for our one-on-one conversation. I always appreciate my time with Coach, and God bless and congratulations on 5-0. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next. In the meantime, speaking of what I'm going to do next, what you're going to do next, what we're all going to do next, you can find my work continuously growing on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. And as always, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk soon. I hope you have a wonderful day.